A win-win negotiation is a careful exploration both of one's own position and that of one's opposition. They do this to find a mutually acceptable outcome that gives both of them as much of what they want as possible. If both walk away happy with what they have gained from the deal, then that is a win-win. Through this presentation, I will describe a time that I used the win-win negotiation method in order to solve a problem, and the results that ensued. The problem that I am trying to agree upon with someone is where we should eat dinner. My roommate and I decided that we were going to go off campus for dinner one night, and we could not decide where to go. I really wanted to eat Mexican food, but my roommate was really in the mood for a burger. Those food groups are on the opposite ends of the spectrum. She did not want Mexican food because she had that in the cafeteria the day prior, and I did not want a burger because I'd had that in the Falcon's Nest the day prior. I chose to address this problem because it feels like it happens all the time. Coming from a family of 5, no one can ever agree on where they want to eat. No one wants to budge in their opinion, and we have a hard time finding a compromise and negotiating with each other to determine what to get for dinner that night. Someone always ends up getting mad, and we can never find a happy medium. And the same thing happens with my roommates at school. The person who I am approaching to solve this problem is a 19-year-old female who is very similar to me. I have known her for about 2 years, as she has been my roommate throughout college. I normally communicate with her in face-to-face communication, as we are involved in many of the same things. We eat meals together, do homework together, and we even plan the basketball team together. I occasionally text her and Snapchat her, but that is only if I need to get a hold of her in a very quick manner. This person is very close to me. She's one of my best friends. I've had this relationship with her since we started school at Concordia, and our friendship has continued to grow over the course of the past 2 years. The negotiating method that I chose to use was the win-win method. This method is very useful because both members benefit from the results. With the win-win method, the first thing that you do is determine what your own goals are. This is your point of view, and you determine your problem. The next thing that you have to do is determine your acquaintance's goal. You need to look at things from their point of view and see what they really want. Next, you identify a list of solutions to this problem after brainstorming with the other party. And finally, you select an outcome that allows both parties to feel as though they are winning. With this situation, my goal was to eat dinner at a Mexican restaurant. My roommate's goal was to eat dinner at an American restaurant that served good burgers. Clearly, these are two different options. The next thing that we did was determine a list of solutions of places that we could go to. My idea was Botana's, a Mexican restaurant in downtown Milwaukee. This choice would most likely not get chosen because it did not serve burgers. My roommate's idea was to go to Fuddruckers, a burger restaurant. This choice also would most likely not get chosen because it did not accommodate my wants of Mexican. We then thought about having both of us not getting accommodated and eating dinner at a restaurant with a completely different food scheme, such as Italian from Olive Garden. Both of us were not in the mood for pasta, so that option was pretty low on the list because it was a lose-lose. We also thought about getting Cafe Zupas, a soup, sandwich, and salad restaurant that is very tasty. We were both willing to compromise for this. Our final solution for places to eat that we brainstormed was the Highland House. This restaurant serves both very delicious Mexican food and very delicious burgers on the American side. This restaurant was the perfect solution because both of us were able to get the food that we wanted. Both of us felt as though we were winning. It was actually very easy for the two of us to narrow down the list. We immediately ruled out both of our initial choices, Botana's and Fuddruckers, because it was a total win-lose. One of us would get what we wanted, and the other would not get it at all. We then came up with 3 other restaurant possibilities. Olive Garden and Panera would have been okay with both of us, but we each wanted something different and specific, Mexican and a burger. When we finally thought of the Highland House as our dinner location, we realized it was the perfect compromise. It was a restaurant that offered both venues of food and allowed both of us to have our way. It was a win-win solution. When we initially decided to eat off campus, we were kind of excited, but once we realized that we both wanted completely different things to eat, it was kind of aggravating. We started negotiating and were initially frustrated because we could not come up with a great conclusion. But once we thought of the Highland House as our option, we both were very excited and pleased that we had found a solution that we both would be eating what we wanted. We were both very impressed that we found such a perfect negotiation. For us, the process of win-win negotiation worked very well. The conflict was solved completely, as both of us were able to eat the type of food that we wanted. I was able to eat tacos and chips and salsa, and my roommate was able to eat her favorite kind of burger, the Hangover Burger, which has fried egg on it. The process of win-win negotiation worked very well for the both of us, and we were very pleased with the results. It allowed us to talk through our problem without becoming angry, and it allowed both of us to win by getting what we wanted while also compromising with the other person. While we did not get to eat at the exact restaurant that we wanted, we were able to eat the type of food that we wanted and spend quality time with each other. In conclusion, the win-win negotiation method is a very useful tool to use when trying to settle a conflict with another person that allows for both members to feel as though they are winning.